if you're currently holding HOLO throughout this reverse stock split, you may want to stick around and hear what I have to say. It's not all bad. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, today's price action is giving us more insight that we may actually see that short-term turnaround result after this reverse stock split. After all, as you all know, that share float, like I told you guys before, it's going to be around 20.44 million, and this is the cause and effect of a reverse stock split. You lower that share float by a fraction, and that is what causes the supply and demand effect. As you all know, this thing had a share float well beyond 400 million, and with that 20-1, ladies and gentlemen, has a huge potential to actually get this thing to cross those $9 levels here this week. As you all know, this thing did see a slight rally to that $8.19 throughout the trading day. If you were a part of our Discord, then you actually caught my alert in real time, which was HOLO early this morning for the entry price of $7.05, with that price target being $8 plus, labeling this a swing trade. High risk versus high reward. And as you guys can see here, we did actually breach that price target, running as high as $8.19. With that being said, seeing as though that we didn't see that 40% retracement that we all expected here on today's trading, gives me even more bullish vibes moving forward for this short-term turnaround. Today's price action has changed my outlook on the short-term turnaround. Like I told you guys before, we may be seeing 60 to 80% gain after the 40% retracement. Well, guess what? Since we didn't see that 40% retracement, I do feel as though that percent gain is going to be much higher, from 120 to 160%. Thanks to today's price action. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, seeing as though that the volume is 23.32 million, and we have seen a turnover ratio over 100% here so far, lets me know that HOLO retail investor interest may have slightly gotten higher here in today's trading. Maybe a lot of retail investors that was waiting to buy HOLO was just waiting for this reverse stock split to happen. And now that it is here, it is looking very bullish for the remainder of the week. If we take a brief look and just check out the day chart really quickly, of course, this thing is going to be severely overbought thanks to the reverse stock split. Well, it's going to look like it's overbought, but as you guys can see here on the day chart, early warning signal, 1 minute, no obvious, with the 60 very bearish. Okay, and that's just thanks to the reverse stock split gap up. But like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, I do feel as though that HOLO is in its bull phase, so it is okay to buy at these prices because this thing is headed towards $9. Okay, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're currently holding HOLO, can you please let me know in the comment section below by commenting the ticker symbol HOLO. If we can get 20 of those, ladies and gentlemen, I will update HOLO for the remainder of the week on a daily basis. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to comment HOLO. Next stock we're going to talk about here in today's video, and that is PLTR. Now, as you all know, this thing is headed towards $47 if you have been keeping up with the channel, and I feel as though that PLTR may be the better alternative pick for NVIDIA. As you all know, a lot of people feel as though that NVIDIA may be in a bubble / overvalued. Well, here in PLTR, things are just starting to heat up. In fact, PLTR is headed towards its historical high. Just a few weeks ago, everybody was telling me that this thing is not a buy. It's too high at these prices. We're approaching its historic high, and that is pointing to a bearish sentiment. And just to let you guys know, this is the exact same thing they said about NVIDIA last year when this thing was around $400 a share. It went to $1,200, a reverse stock split later. Not a reverse stock split, but a stock split later. It's at $135 here. With that being said, I do feel as though that Palantir is in that same boat. This thing is going to continue to run in price over time. A lot of people may feel as though that since it's at its historic high, that it's overvalued, but you have to take into consideration that Palantir is getting those government contracts left and right. Not only that, the reconstruction of those government contracts that we do expect to hear this quarter is only going to boast those earnings reports. Well, the earning report that we do expect to hear next week, it's going to inflate that earnings report here next month, not next week. We do expect to hear that earnings report in November for PLTR, and the reconstruction of the government contracts will, in fact, add more money to the books. As far as our $47 PT, which I do feel as though is going to be reached and breached here this week, ladies and gentlemen. After breaching that $47 PT, I do expect to see a retracement back towards those sub $40 levels to consolidate, make support, and make its next leg up towards those $50 levels. So if you're still holding PLTR, you're in the right place to be. And I do feel as though that historic high will be broken here by tomorrow. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go, and may the gains be with you.